Hi friends, we start the course with this first lecture in this course that talk about the importance of documentation and procedure. So we start with that. Before I tell you about the step-by-step process, it is important to understand that what is the importance of the accurate, timely, and meticulous export documentation procedures. Before I do that, I want to start with a small case study. I will tell you about this incident that is based on a real event. Actually, this case study is about one Mr. Malhotra, who is an exporter from Mumbai. The company name is Malhotra Exports. This company enters into a contract with a French company, the name of which is Saint Laurent. Let me tell you that these names, company names of the exporter and importer, are fictional names because this case study I have prepared based on some real event, but changed the names of the exporter and importer. The idea is for the education purpose. So this case study talks about the contract that was signed between Lothar Exports and Saint Laurent of France. The contract was for exporting the fashion garments worth around 55,000 euro on CIF basis, CIF Paris basis. So the payment terms in this contract was not on letter of credit, but rather on bank collection. So with the course you will understand, later in this course you will understand the difference between the letter of credit and the payment by bank collection. So bank collection means documents collection by the buyer either on DP payment basis or DA payment basis. So DP means documents against payment and DA means documents against acceptance. So I will tell you more about it in the later lectures of this course. So this particular business between Malhotra Exports and Saint Laurent was on DA terms. DA is little tricky because what you are doing, you are sending the shipment by air or by ship, whatever. In this particular case, it was by sea, and you are sending the documents to the bank for selling it to the importer, that is in this case Saint Laurent, against not payment but the letter of accepting the documents against payment at a later date. So it is little risky, but at the same time bank is involved. The letter is issued by the importer to the bank. So if there is no other major issue, there is no bankruptcy of the buyer, so chances are that the payment will be made because the buyer is giving a local confirmation guarantee to the bank that he will pay. It is done, but definitely it is much more risky because anything can happen with the buyer. So what happened in this particular case, that the goods were exported by Malhotra Exports, the fashion garments, to Saint Laurent in Paris by sea, and Malhotra Exports sent the document through a local Indian bank, the Bank of India, that was working as the negotiating bank on behalf of the exporter, that is the Malhotra Exports. So it sent the documents to Saint Laurent on bank collection basis along with the covering letter and the bill of exchange. So bill of exchange I will make you understand better in the later lectures what exactly is bill of exchange. It's a bank document. In the bill of exchange, Malhotra Exports, just to be safe, he wrote that the documents to be given to Saint Laurent only if the overseas bank, which is actually the bank that is going to sell the documents to Saint Laurent, in this case AXA Bank of Paris, if the bank accepts the co-acceptance clause, only in that case the documents were to be given to the buyer, that is Saint Laurent, as per the bill of exchange instruction. But this instruction was not given in the covering letter. The idea was that co-acceptance clause means that AXA Bank, that is a local bank in Paris, in case anything happens, the commercial risk is there, which means the buyer does not pay after accepting the documents and giving the guarantee in writing that payment will be made after certain date. Paris Bank, that is the AXA Bank, will pay on behalf of the buyer. It means the AXA Bank will guarantee the payment in case of non-payment. If that co-acceptance clause is accepted by the overseas bank, only then documents were to be given as per the instruction given in the bill of exchange by Malhotra Exports. Now, the documents were sent by Indian Bank to the collecting bank, that is the AXA Bank in Paris. The bank saw the documents, covering letter, and all the documents, and delivered the documents to the buyer, that is the Saint Laurent, against acceptance of 30 days. That means the payment will be made by the buyer in 30 days. Now, what happened? That 30 days passed and money did not come. Now, Malhotra Exports approached the Indian bank that why the money has not come. So bank approached overseas collecting bank, that is AXA Bank, that why money has not come even after 30 days have elapsed. The bank checks with the buyer and finds that the buyer has become bankrupt. Now the unthinkable has happened. The buyer has become bankrupt, and before the date when the guarantee was there that the payment will be made, the company is no more existing in Paris now. So now it's a very difficult situation for everybody. The bank says that we will not pay because the buyer is not able to pay because there is no such company now. It is already bankrupt.